Imagine an army unit armed not with rifles and grenades, but with rubber tanks, paintbrushes, and sound effects. During World War II, a top-secret unit of artists, designers, and audio engineers fooled the Germans over and over again, saving thousands of American lives. They were called the Ghost Army, and their weapon was deception. This is the story of the most creative military unit in history. In 1944, the U.S. Army did something unusual. They went recruiting at art schools. They visited Cooper Union, the Philadelphia Museum School of Industrial Art, and Pratt Institute. They were looking for artists, illustrators, designers, sound engineers, and anyone with creative skills. But they couldn't tell these young men what they'd actually be doing. It was classified. The official name was the 23rd Headquarters Special Troops, but they'd become known as the Ghost Army. About 1,100 men were selected, and they had no idea they were about to become military magicians. Among them were some incredible talents. Bill Blass, who would become a famous fashion designer, Ellsworth Kelly, future renowned abstract artist, Art Kane, who'd become one of America's greatest photographers, Sergeant Harold Lehner, a sound engineer who could recreate any battlefield noise. These weren't typical soldiers. They were creatives, thinkers, problem solvers. And the Army had a wild job for them: deceive the enemy on a massive scale. The Ghost Army was divided into 4 main units. The 406th Engineer Combat Company handled visual deception with inflatable equipment. They had rubber tanks, trucks, artillery pieces, even fake airplanes. Each inflatable tank weighed only 60 pounds and could be set up by 4 men in 15 minutes. From the air or at a distance, they looked completely real. The 603rd Camouflage Engineer Battalion created visual illusions on the ground. They painted fake unit insignia, created dummy command posts, and made everything look authentic. The 3102nd Signal Service Company was the Sonic Deception Unit. They recorded actual sounds of tanks, troops, and construction equipment, then played them back through massive speakers that could project sound 15 miles. Finally, there was the Signal Company Special, which handled radio deception, broadcasting fake messages to create the illusion of large troop movements. Their equipment was ingenious. The inflatable tanks had air pumps. The sound trucks had enormous speakers. They had props, costumes, fake shoulder patches, even actors who would pretend to be generals at local bars to spread misinformation. The Ghost Army conducted over 20 battlefield deceptions between 1944 and 1945, mostly in France, Luxembourg, Belgium, and Germany. Their first major test came near Brest, France. The real 2nd Armored Division was being moved south for a genuine attack. They inflated hundreds of rubber tanks. Artists created fake insignia and painted them on vehicles and tents. In Operation Brittany, they had to operate close enough to enemy lines to be observed. They had almost no actual firepower. The men would set up fake tanks, then hide in foxholes while German artillery shelled their rubber decoys. They'd watch their inflatable equipment get blown apart, then patch it up with bicycle tire repair kits and redeploy it the next night. Operation Viersen was their most important mission. The Ghost Army had to convince the Germans that the Rhine crossing would happen at a different location. Artists created elaborate fake logistics operations. They set up dummy supply depots and even had soldiers dressed as military police. The Germans bought it completely. When the real 9th Army crossed on March 23, 1945, they met lighter resistance than expected. Radio operators would begin transmitting, mimicking the communication patterns of real units. Then they'd wait. Wait for German reconnaissance planes to fly over. Wait to see if their illusion worked.